Hi everyone, we are doing the last topic of module G, which is coordinate geometry, which is basically the combination of algebra as well as geometry. So let's start with this. Obviously, this is one of those few topics which is purely based on the formulae, and as long as you know them clearly, you will be able to solve the questions. So let's start with the first part, introduction to the coordinate system. So there are four quadrants. In the first quadrant, as you all can see, both x and y are positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, but y is positive. Third quadrant, both are negative. Fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. Also, the different namings, the y coordinate is also called as ordinate, and the x coordinate is also called as abscissa. So you should not be confused if examiner says that the ordinate of this point is this. It indirectly means is the y coordinate of the point is that particular number or the value. So don't get confused, have a very clear understanding of what these terms are. Then moving on to the part, immediate first part is the distance formula. So suppose there are 2 points A and B having coordinates x1 y1 and x2 y2, and we want to calculate the distance between these 2 points. It is given by a formula, simple formula, square root of x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square, x1 minus x2 the whole square plus y1 minus y2 the whole square. That's the formula. Then the next one is section formula. Section formula is internal division and external division. Internal division, suppose there is a point on a line AB having coordinates x1 y1 x2 y2, and P is the point having coordinates x comma y. Cutting this line AB internally in some ratio m and n, and then if you want to find out the values of x and y, there is a formula straightforward. That formula is x is equal to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, and y is equal to, replace x के जगह पे y, you get my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. So very clearly the terms and the conditions has been defined, and you need to just remember them and accordingly simplify by substituting the values. There is another part which is external division. As the name suggests, there is a line AB having coordinates x1 y1 x2 y2, and there is a point P which is outside the line having coordinates x comma y. Intersecting this line or dividing this line externally in the ratio m is to n. Again the same part, to figure out the values of x and y, same formula that we did in the internal division, but instead of plus it is going to be just minus. So for x it will be mx2 minus nx1 upon m minus n, and for y it will be, replace y in terms of x, you get my2 minus ny1 upon m minus n. These are the formulae for internal as well as external division. Also one very important part, both of the questions, internal and external, can be solved with the other approach, as in internal can be done with the external, external can be done with the internal. All you need to know is substitute the values accordingly. The next one is centroid of a triangle. So suppose a triangle having vertices ABC having coordinates x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 respectively. Centroid G is having coordinates x comma y. Then that value x is given by x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, and for y, y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. This is how you can calculate the coordinates of the centroid. The next one, in center of a triangle. Similar data, but the sides of the triangle are also known, which are ABC, and the coordinates of the in center, which is denoted by I, are x and y. So you can find the value of x as ax1 plus bx2 plus cx3 upon a plus b plus c. For y, ay1 plus by2 plus cy3 upon a plus b plus c. This is how you can use these formulae. Now the next one is area of a triangle. Area of a triangle, again having the three vertices having those coordinates. You have to solve a determinant which is half into x1, x2, x3 as the first row, y1, y2, y3 as the second row. And now because the figure is a two-dimensional figure, so there are only x and y coordinate. The third dimension, the third coordinate, which is z, is 1 each. And now how do we simplify this determinant? If you remember by any chance, you take the first element, so that row, that column is hidden, and you multiply the other ones in the cross format and you subtract them. So if you take x1, you will do y2 minus y3, plus if you take x2, you will do y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. This is how you simplify the determinant. Don't forget the half, which was outside the determinant. So this is the formula for area of triangle in terms of coordinate geometry. The next one, properties of a parallelogram. So a parallelogram having vertices A, B, C, D, having coordinates x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4. Then if it is a parallelogram, then x1 plus x3 is equal to x2 plus x4, and y1 plus y3 is equal to y2 plus y4. So these are the terms that you need to know. And vice versa is also true. For any figure this holds true, then you can say that they are the coordinates of the vertices of the parallelogram. The next part is the main deal, which is formally associated with a straight line. So slope of a line is defined in various aspects, which is m, which is tan theta, and so on. So that slope is given by a formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So suppose there is a line having coordinates, the 2 points A and B having coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. If you know the coordinates, you can use the formula to find out the slope, which is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. You don't know the coordinates, but suppose you know the angle theta that the line makes with respect to the positive x-axis. Remember this procedure. The angle theta is calculated always with respect to the positive side of the x-axis. And if you know the angle theta, you can find the tan of that value. Tan theta will also be the slope of the line. Third scenario, suppose you don't know coordinates, you don't know the angle theta, but you know the equation of a line, which is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, the standard form of the linear equation. You can find out the slope using this formula, which is minus coefficient of x, which is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y, which is minus a upon b. This is the formula you can use to find out the slope of the line. So 3 ways to find out the slope. These are those 3 ways. Whichever is given to you, accordingly you substitute or use one of the possible scenarios. The next one, some standard notes. So for parallel lines, the slopes are same. Remember that. For perpendicular lines, the slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. That is, their product is going to be minus. So these are the properties of slopes for parallel and perpendicular lines. Then some more standard notes. The first one, if a line is parallel to x-axis, if it is parallel to x-axis, it is going to make an angle 0 degree with the positive x-axis, and tan of 0, we all know the value now by trigonometry, which is 0. A line which is parallel to y-axis will make an angle of 90 degree with the x-axis, and that means the slope will be tan of 90, which is infinity, and hence the slope is infinity. These are all the reasons. The third one, a line with the equation x minus y is 0. You solve that, you get x is equal to y. That means both x and y are positive as well as negative. That means line passes through first and the third quadrant, something like this, making an angle 45 degree with the positive x-axis, and tan of 45 we all know is 1, and hence the slope of this line with this equation is 1. The last one, a line with the equation x plus y is equal to 0. You solve this, you will get x is equal to minus y. That means it will be passing through second and the fourth quadrant. That means it will make an angle of 135 degree with respect to the positive x-axis. Angle 135 degree can be broken down as tan of 90 plus theta, 90 plus 45. We all know tan of 90 plus theta is minus cot theta, and we already know the answer to that will be minus 1. So slope will be minus 1. This is how you can figure this out. The next part is some more formulae. There is a straight line. General form we have already seen now. Line with the equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. All you have to do is use minus a by b, that is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. That is the formula to figure out the slope. The next one is slope intercept form. That is, you know that a line is cutting one of the axis, either x or y, and it is supposedly it is cutting y axis in point C having coordinates 0, c, having slope m. You can find out the equation of the line. So what you can do is, whatever is your equation of the line, try to convert that equation in this format, which is y is equal to mx plus c. If you are able to convert your equation into this format, y is equal to mx plus c, what you can do is, you can just clearly say that m is the coefficient of x, which is m, is the slope of the line, and c is called as the y-intercept of the line. So all you have to do is rearrange your equation in this format, y is equal to mx plus c, and directly you get the answer for the slope and the intercept. The third one, 2-point form. So you would know that line is passing through 2 points, and you would know the coordinates of those 2 points. Something like this. Line is passing through the 2 points. Point A has coordinates x1, y1. Point B has coordinates x2, y2. And you want to form the equation. The equation is formed using this formula, which is y minus y1 upon x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. All we are doing is, from the left side denominator, taking that x minus x1 on the right side, what you end up having is y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. That is the formula, which we call it as 2-point form. The next one is slope point form. Slope point form, you would not know the 2 points through which the line is passing, but you would know 1 point through which the line is passing and the slope of the line. Which is having the coordinates comma y1. And now, using the slope point form, you can write the equation, which is y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Now ideally it is not a different thing at all, because if you remember the previous case, which is 2-point form, you will exactly get what I'm trying to say, which is going to be that we earlier calculated slope manually by using y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Here we don't have to do that anymore, because slope will be directly given to us. So all we are doing is substituting that value and getting our answer. This is called as slope point form. The last one is double intercept form. So you would know that line is intersecting both x and y axis in certain points, and those are your two intercepts, x intercepts and y intercepts, a comma 0, b 0 comma b respectively. In that case, the equation of a line is given by this formula, x upon a plus y upon b is equal to 1, where a and b are the x and the y intercepts respectively. So these are all the formulas as far as straight line is concerned that you should know, you should be aware of as far as coordinate geometry is concerned, so that you can solve the questions and use the appropriate formula based on the data and the scenario presented to you. The last part is circles in terms of coordinate geometry. So standard form of circle is or standard equation is x square plus y square is equal to r square. Here suppose there is a center having coordinates h comma k and the radius r. The equation of the circle in coordinate geometry becomes this: x minus h the whole square plus y minus k the whole square is equal to r square. To simplify this, start multiplying, start opening of the brackets a minus b the whole square, both the points, and consolidate everything. Keep all the constant terms on one side, which is h square plus k square minus r square. Suppose that is replaced by another constant, which is c. So the final equation that you get is x square plus y square is minus 2hx minus 2ky plus c is equal to 0. That's the equation of circle in terms of coordinate geometry. Don't forget the value of c, which is h square plus k square minus r square. Now to figure out the values of h and k, what we can do is coefficient of x minus 2 and coefficient of y minus 2, because coefficient of x is minus 2h. When we do minus 2h upon minus 2, minus 2 gets cancelled, you will have h, and coefficient of y minus 2k upon minus 2, you will get k. So h comma k is basically the center of the circle. So center of the circle k, these are the formulae. And radius is the distance, and distance formula if we use square root of h square plus k square minus c. When we substitute the value of c here in that square root, inside that square root, which is h square plus k square minus r square, obviously they all will get cancelled except r square, and r square ka square root when we take, we will get the value of r, which is the radius of the circle. So in short, these are the formulae for center of the circle in terms of coordinate geometry and radius of the circle in terms of coordinate geometry. So folks, that's it for today. And as I said, that this is purely based on formula based topic. As long as you know the formula correctly, you will be able to find out the answers and will be able to solve the questions. If you have any concerns, do let us know. Thank you so much.